All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Yeah, that's right. Well, no, we're not playing the full game. We're playing the demo. Um, so funny story. There was a private argument between myself and today's sponsor about, I guess, just like artsiness in general and whether whether things are required to be pretentious to be art. And the if the person would like to identify themselves, by all means. If not, perfectly reasonable. um but the point was that and the point that they made is that I should play this game to and then we can sort of discuss it afterwards. I have no idea why. I actually have no idea what the game itself is about. Uh so we're just going to deal with it, yeah. Well, the point there is that this is apparently supposed to be an artsy game of sorts, right? And you can already see by the beginning what it's going to be like, right? Like, actually, if you want to talk to me on a private channel, um, ugh, one sec. Okay, no, I can't keep the thing in my ear because if there's sound, I'll just get distracted. So we'll just, we'll do it like this. Um, what am I saying? The point is, if you want to continue the argument, we can do it in a private channel afterwards. For now, let us focus on the game and see how truly artsy it is to begin with. I did want to point out that when I looked at the settings, when I played around with the settings, because I have to, um, I saw a film grain setting, and anything that has a film grain setting is simply just, it's just pretentious to begin with, right? Oh, right trigger. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. So it's basically a physics puzzler. Okay. High gravity, and now we lower gravity. Is that how that goes? Okay. Oh, and then we launch ourselves in the air. Doing that, excellent. Okay. Oh, and okay, okay, I get it, I get it. So essentially, we're using the slopes to accelerate, and we can move. Okay. Okay, we're using to accelerate, and then we're using the slopes as sort of a launch because that gets us extra speed. Presumably, if I drop like that, that gives me kinetic energy. Like that, excellent. Okay. It is a little bit pretentious already, right? Like, oh, oh, and then we can glide. Excellent. Okay. So what if we fall into the lava? Let's try that. Oh, you see what I did there, though, right? I used my gravitational potential energy to generate speed that I then turned into. That I then turned in. Then I used glide to then launch myself up. Double jump. Oh, look at that! It's doing the whole like. It flashed what was it? Oops! It flashed the launch team's faces in my face as if like we're supposed to care about them, and it told us that in the beginning it told us that the team died, right? So presumably now we're going to. Oh, I see. Thanks. Okay. So I think the idea is that actually. Hold on. Let's see. I think the idea is for us to go up there. Let's see if we can. No, we cannot. Okay. So if we increase gravity, that means we're not. We do that. Speed up. Glide. Okay. The purpose of this? No idea. It is a fun movement mechanic, though. Will very much admit that. And notice how. Oops. Notice how if we drop from too high an angle, we get that like CRT effect. Resource detected. Wow, look, V2 is equal to x2 minus x1 over t2 minus t1. Lovely. Somebody knows their basic velocity equations. Oh my god. Build momentum. Build momentum. Well, that's kind of the point. That's the point in its entirety. That, you know, if you can tell right away that it's simply just a velocity equation, then of course you're going to think that it's being profound by having, you know, mathematics. But the mathematics is so ridiculous that you might as well just nod. Okay, so we're getting close to this. Are we supposed to glide into this hole? Oop. Oop. No, I can't glide into this hole. Let's try. Yeah. Oh. Why am I not allowed to glide into this hole? Okay. Let's go down, gain some speed. Once, gain height twice. Can I make it in? Oh, there's wind over there, okay. So we're going to go down this side. Look, velocity is equal to the square root of something. Oh, I get it. I get it. It's just trying to teach us about, excuse me? It's just trying to teach us about this gate and how it'll like make us move faster. I think. Well, let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Well, this completely messes with conservation of momentum, right? So it's just like glide mode, energy stored, full containment reached, flow stabilized. Okay, excellent. Hey, look, it's like they're ghosts, aren't they? I hate when games do that. It's just like, it's such useless shorthand for like, oh, this is a profound issue. And it's just like, it's not that profound. You're not being profound by doing this. Oops. Like you're just not. I don't care what you think. You're not being profound when you flash like people's pictures for just a moment over and use that to take over the user's screen, right? Like that's just, at best, that's a jump scare. No, you're a jump scare. Distance close to 40. Oh, I am supposed to go somewhere. Okay. Excellent. Oh, I shouldn't use gravity on a upward slope. We can use gravity here. Excellent. Like when we jump up, we pop ourselves down and use gravity to increase our speed even more. Which of course isn't really how that works, but that's fine. We're supposed to go presumably that way. Here we go, let's go down this particular slope. Yeah. And then we can position ourselves on top of this hill, bring ourselves down. Look at that old like VHS thing, right? Like you just know that this is going for early space race type technology, and so it's being pretentious with that as opposed to. And have you noticed that almost all pretentiousness always uses that kind of film grain from like that age? It's particularly interesting to me because it's not like we're short of pretentious things in the West, right? Like there's no need for us to always go back to like the 60s and 70s, like unless what you're saying is that detected cesium flow reversing. Oh no. Oh no. Space-time anomaly. Oh look. Oh wait, what? Oh, was that it? Oh, that was it? Oh. Which gem have we used? We've used half of. We can go back and explore something. So, quick point to this. Yes, I did indeed just get the demo. That's why it's PRologue as opposed to the full game. But I can already tell that I'm not going to play this. Like, I mean, of course, unless it's properly sponsored. Like right now, the sponsorship is about Artsiness and how this game is artsy. Oh, can I? Am I not allowed to play it? Excuse me? What do you mean, am I sure? There's literally nothing else I can do. I wonder if, oh, and then I have to relaunch Steam. Oh my god. Can you imagine a program that in 2022 is not optimized for Windows scaling? Oh, how big of a monopoly is Steam and Valve that in 2022 they don't need to care about users that use high DPI monitors. Like I'm using a 4K monitor, but Steam doesn't actually work properly on 4K monitors all the time. Like if you do something and your screen resolution changes, then Steam will just stop working because it's still using like code from what, like 2002. Like it's nonsense. Like if you guys want to sue, if you want to bring a complaint to the FTC over anything, you should bring it over Steam. Like it's just such useless bullshit. Anyway, yes, we're going to restart this game. A little bit more exploration. Why not? Well, I mean, we only have another 15 minutes on the clock, so I think this is fine. And like it's pretentious, but it's not bad. Right? Like the I would say the movement system is actually kind of fun. Like we can do all sorts of interesting things with it. I wonder where that way would go, right? Because obviously last time we went in the exact opposite direction. So we can go in this direction and see what happens. The physics is also really weird, like in terms of the momentum that's being gained. You saw the ball sort of flash in a different direction, right? Yeah, that's like old CRT head, like magnetic reading head issues. It's fascinating that, like, to this day, that is considered a, shall we call it, a shorthand for I don't know, pretentiousness. Well, I would call it pretentiousness, right? Like, and that's simply because it is just like, what do you mean you're not here to hear me complain? That's literally half of the point of this. Blam. I do like the fact that it's sort of not like the pretentiousness is not predetermined, but rather it depends on how far down you drop. Oh, hello. Okay, thank you. Oh, we've hit level. I see, I see. After some point, we hit sort of the level. Yeah, like that. See, it just turns us around and then forces us towards there, as if we. Yeah. Yes, exactly. As if we were innocent schoolboys. But what if I just want to go this way? Notice that even if I don't touch anything, it's still like it needs to gain some amount of movement. Like it just gains momentum by itself. It's just strange, isn't it? Well, I mean, if we can go there, we'll go there. Why not? Well, the game has graciously allowed us to do so, so I think I will. See? And now down here, we're just gonna accelerate gravity up. And then go in this direction. Who knows what's over there? Probably nothing, actually. Oh, this was the place where we started, isn't it? Yeah. See? And then it turns us towards the goal, which is over there. Yeah, well, guess what? Nothing better for us to do. Launch ourselves up. We can only go so high, though, with these kinds of slopes. And, like, you can see how I actually kind of like it. The fact that the the reserve energy that you have is tied intimately to the color of the ball, right? That's kind of cool. We can see that there's nothing on these sides, and so we're just gonna drop to the floor. Oops. me drop to the floor now. How do you make sure? Oh, you mean for the jump, right? Well, the ideal is, and it's actually mathematic. Um, you want to accelerate all the way down until the bottom of the very bottom, when your rate of change for your speed. So when your acceleration, when the direction that you're accelerating in, when that, just as it hits, it goes from negative to positive, i.e., it goes from, the gravity is pulling you downwards into, now you're going up the slope, and so therefore, okay, let me say that in a slightly different way. Yes, those are exactly the kinds of comments I'm anticipating, and so that's why I wanted to say that in a different way. Um, when, like, you see how, like, right now I'm not controlling the direction that I'm moving in, and so like a ball, you sort of go between the two sides, and I'm using gravity, so I'm holding the high gravity button, and the ball will just get pulled downwards, right? When I oh, hello, I got jump scared there. I actually did get jump scared there. Like, I hate being jump scared like that, right? Like, it's just like, it's such useless shorthand for look at us, we're so cool. Like, look how profound we are. There are these pictures of these dudes. Fuck those dudes, right? Like, well, it's true. Like, I don't like being startled, and I appreciate that. Makes me, like, I suppose that makes me weird in this particular society, but I have no need to be startled. Being startled doesn't bring me any joy. No, it simply doesn't. Like, it's just, like, that's not what I want from horror, right? Like, being startled is not horror. Being startled is simply it's, how do I say, akin to addiction. Being startled is a primary bodily function, because you're supposed to, like, if you think about it really hard, what is the evolutionary purpose of being startled? Well, it's easy, right? Like, being startled means that your reaction time, like your body's reaction time, is supposed to increase dramatically. For why? Well, because if there's a tiger or saber-toothed tiger, hello? Okay. Am I building momentum that way? Oh, I am. Okay. Oh, okay. Like, okay, what was I saying? If there was a saber-toothed tiger, right? Like, you want to be able to fight. Oh, excuse me. Okay. You want to be able to have high reaction time so that you can fight it properly. I think that's fairly. Oh, just give me 1 second. There we go. You want to build reaction time so that you can fight it fairly, and also so that you can fight back or run away, right? So that by doing so, you are engaging your fight and flight response. Everyone's heard of that, obviously, and so by doing so, you're able to then react and have your parasympathetic nervous system really, like, get into place. Oh, okay, space-time anomaly detected. So the demo is timed. Okay, that's good to know. Do we have time? Yeah, we have 5 minutes. So we're going to actually try this again, and we're going to see how far we can get. Like, just going in the direction of the light. That's obviously where they want us to go, right? So going in that direction. We're going to go see how far we get, and then we'll be done for today. This game. Oh, like before we continue though, I just want to quickly point out that this game has not changed my mind at all about artsiness and pretentiousness and all of that. It simply has. It's like this is peak pretentiousness. Like any, I don't know, right? In modern media, anytime you start seeing things like um, quotes of people, doesn't even matter what kind of people. Like the moment a game starts with a quote, it's just like, oh, okay, you're going for trying to be profound, and you're going to try to like tug at our humanity or something like that. And it's just like with the startle effect, right? It's, how do I say this? How do I say this kindly? Actually, let me put it that way. It's bullshit. Like, it's simply bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, but it really is, right? Like, it's all it is you're like you're trying to do this sort of like be meta as hell and keep that do this really let's call it a bullshitty narrative, because I can't think of anything else to say right at this moment. And yeah, essentially, look, it's those girls again, right? Those astronauts. Like, it's just, you're just trying so hard, and to me, that's just not fun. Well, like that's kind of the point, though, right? Like, that's what these games are trying to do, is they are trying to have this sort of like, what does it mean to be human, or like look at the depth of our emotions, or like that kind of stuff. I just don't care. It's not that I don't care about human emotions, right? Like, let's be very clear about that. Human emotions are wonderful things, and human emotion is one of those very interesting things that drive a lot of our actions. And if you were to look really closely, you would be able to tell that a lot of human emotions are simply hold on, let me just like do this wall thing. Oh, okay, that was the oops. Like, human emotions at their fundamental level are very much instincts, right? A lot of the emotions that drive us are not logical in any way, shape, or form. They are simply instincts that we have accumulated in our evolutionary path, and they inform the actions that we make, right? And so yeah, like, if you wanted to appeal to human instincts, a lot of this like wanky pretentious meta narrative is quite good, because, well, I mean like, people like feeling intelligent. They like feeling like they're oops they like feeling that they are smart, and that they're profound, and that they can understand things. And within modern art, right, like within the modern artistic world, that is something that is celebrated. But like, these people don't understand anything, so like, it's just like, it's just the useless bullshit. Again, not to overuse the phrase, but to me, it's just simply not interesting, because a lot of these people who make these games, their thoughts aren't interesting to begin with. Well, okay, no, I shouldn't say that their thoughts aren't interesting. It's that their understanding of humanity, of science, of the pursuit of knowledge is limited not by I don't want to say that they're limited by their education, but rather that it's limited by the experiences that they're able to have. Does that kind of make sense? And so if the experiences that they're having is and unfortunately, actually, I should make it clear that yes, education is part of the experiences that we're able to have. So if your education is low, right, like if to take a purely hypothetical question or example, and definitely not related to the person who was relentlessly arguing with me, say for example your say for example your undergrad is in I don't know, macroeconomics, and you spend most of your life in banking, and and like you're really more of a client facing type than the the hedge fund bro type. Completely coincidental, I'm sure. Yes. Say you're one of those types, then I think this kind of pretentiousness is probably kind of appealing, right? Because it allows you to interpret it based on your own way, and that's sort of like the modern artistic movement, is that you're simply like, art is supposed to be for yourself, just like your connection to God, coincidentally, which actually arose out of Protestantism, right? And there's an argument there that if your connection to God is based on yourself, and based on your own understanding of the world, then of course, if something doesn't match what you believe in, it's going to cause you to question it, and it's going to cause you to argue against it. And voila, haven't we just kind of spoken about the modern reactionary movement, right? And the point I'm laboriously trying to get to, and this is vis-a-vis artists or modern artists, is that yeah, like, oh look, there's the giant gun. Excellent. I don't think we'll make it though. I don't think the demo was designed in such a way that we should be allowed to make it. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we make it, but I don't think so. Yeah, you see? Space-time anomaly detected. Yeah. So we're done. So what was I? The point I was laboriously trying to get to just now is this. These games, in terms of artsiness and in terms of pretentiousness, they are meant to be abstract enough that everyone can take out of it what they want based on their own experiences, right? So it's very much a Rorschach's blot idea, and you can see why, right? Like, excuse me. Oh, I had too much. What? I had too much champagne earlier. Not important. I just knew if I said champagne, someone would seize on that. Yes. We'll talk about afterwards why I had champagne. But yeah. So, 34 minutes. We can end. Okay. So let me just end with this. Everything can be a reflection of the soul if we wanted to. Everything can be a reflection of our experiences if we wanted to. It takes a strong and organized mind to or okay, maybe not, I shouldn't say strong and organized. It takes a special kind of mind to look at this and go, yeah, it kind of is cool, but it's not really interesting. How did you know I was talking about myself? No, the point that I'm laboriously trying to get to is, if we don't have, if if our understanding of the universe is not broad enough, and we don't see everything from multiple angles, then we are simply at vulnerable to being affected by things that we don't understand, right? And I know this sounds like it's completely out of nowhere, but that's what games like this, that's what abstract arts, that's what all of that is it evokes primal emotion, and therefore people consider it really interesting because they don't know how to parse that, right? Like, it, if your mind was already well organized and you understand your own thoughts, and you understand why you think this, why this person would think that, then it becomes harder to put you in a space that you're completely, that that you're unable to form the thoughts required to organize the space that we're in. So humans are very much oriented towards organizing our own minds, organizing the thoughts that we have, and organizing our lives, categorizing, trying to understand, right? That is the brilliance of humanity, that we are always curious. If that curiosity is not tempered with knowledge, then that is dangerous. And I had a conversation like this just earlier today, right? Like, if you do not have the knowledge to back up your quest for the truth, then you do not have the ability to truly to actually comprehend that truth when it stares you in the face. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you do not have the knowledge to parse the facts that are coming your way, then you are unable to understand the truth of what you're seeing, and therefore things like this can seem very interesting, because suddenly you don't understand what's going on, and things are sort of popping up all over the place, and they are, oh wow, it's interesting because this is something that that somehow combines with this, and let's find links between them. Wow. And that is this core of conspiracy theories, right? So yeah, yeah. um I just wanted to put in a note for the show descriptions. What was I saying? The search for truth must be tempered with knowledge, otherwise everything can seem profound and artsy. There we go. So that's sort of the overarching thesis, that if you do not temper your own search for knowledge, if you don't temper your entire being with truths, then you are forever doomed to being affected by these types of things in very profound and deep ways, because that is the only way you're able to think. It's not depressing. Uh, well, I mean, to me, it is depressing, but I think that's fine. For everyone else, that's fine. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, please download Firefox, please don't do Chrome, and I'm sorry for having wasted 39 minutes of your time today. Fine. We will continue this afterwards. Yes. Definitely, don't worry. The conversation will continue. I have to go, but I will type and we'll respond because yeah, I see all those questions. We'll talk about it afterwards. Bye now.